Removing the friction. This is a big emphasis for us at Service Express for the second half of 2020. And what we have found as we've grown as a company that every so often, this has happened in the past and it's kind of happened again right now, that as we hit certain stages in our growth, we look at the way we do things, look at some of our internal processes and systems, and we start to find out that we're getting bogged down in some areas. I don't think we're getting bureaucratic because it's not political or anything like that. It's just some of the processes get a little bit cumbersome, get a little bit manual. All of a sudden you get different layers of approval on things, and it just starts to slow everything down. It kind of bogs down certain parts of the system. And it usually doesn't happen across the board. It usually shows up in different departments because as we scale, different departments grow at a different rate than others. And so anyways, as part of what we've been doing during this time of COVID is really looking internally and trying to remove the friction, as I said, and look at our processes. And we're all spread out now. And so we're looking at anything that's manual and how do we make it digital. We're looking at what do we have around approvals and how can we cut those down, and how can we just get way more efficient around the way we do business, because we're not sitting right next to each other and you can't just walk down the hallway or walk over somebody's workstation or office to talk with them about this. And so, so the ways we do this are, one is there is the move to digital, which is hugely important and which we're spending a lot of time on and focus on doing that as well. But one thing I think you need to guard against as a company, I know we do, is that you don't want to sit around and wait for the IT project to happen. That IT will solve everything, that will take manual processes and put them in there. Sometimes you just have to kind of rip things out manually. Sometimes you have to make a process manual, even if it was digital, and just say, we're going to manually make some changes until we come along with a kind of permanent IT fix. And the beauty of doing that and the strength of doing that is that you can, before you do a whole IT project, it really lets you know what you want to focus on and where you want to rip. And so if you start to do things manually, you really learn how things get done. And if you do that for a while, and then you're ready for your IT project, you give it to them, and now you have a more clear view of what you're looking to do going forward. So start with manual, start with giving permission. We talk about delegating a lot. This is a great example. Something you have to let go. Let your teams make decisions. Look, if you have too much approval, if it takes too much time, too many people with eyes on it, you have to learn to trust them. You have to learn to let go and to delegate. If you don't trust them, you got to look at, do you have the right team? Or did I train them? Do they have the right resources? Do they know what the right answers are? And if they don't, spend time in training. Teach them the business so they can make decisions on their own. They'll love it for you. They don't want to go and ask permission for everything that they do. So you got to let go. You got to delegate. You got to trust your team. Look, I did the same thing. I'm looking at my calendar, and I do this every year at the end of the year, and I did it this year at the end of summer. And I just looked without traveling. We're not traveling right now. I was having weekly strategy meetings with my direct reports. And I have 5 direct reports I spend time with, anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes a week. And it's really useful, especially when we're traveling, going in different directions, for us to level set and talk and strategize, get caught up on tactical items and talk a lot about strategy. Well, we're here kind of virtually, and we're not traveling as much. So I used to have weekly because usually at least one of them, if not maybe 2, would maybe get canceled or pushed around because of travel. So I just went through with my team, talked with them all, and just said, how about we eliminate half of our strategy meetings? How about we meet every other week instead of weekly? And if we have tactical items that we need to talk about, you can give me a call. You can update me with a text or an email. Keep me in the loop. But otherwise, let's free up time in our schedule. And so just the act of doing that was so freeing. I cleared up over 3 weeks in my schedule. If I look at the whole year of 2021 and I look at my direct reports and the time I freed up, I cleared up between 3 and 5 weeks in my schedule. Think about that. 3 and 5 additional weeks that I have now to work on the business, to strategize, to get in the right kind of meetings or get with different people to talk about our growth and everything that we have going on here at Service Express. So just doing it now already, from now to the end of 2020, I feel so much more freed up, focused, and working on the right things. So removing the friction, it's a big theme for us. I encourage you to look at your schedule, look at your team, look at your processes, your systems, and say, are they moving as smoothly and as fast as they need to right now? Speed is key. So speed with accountability. So take a look at them, see if you can remove the friction, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks.